One day, dear boy, you shall be king. Your duty now was the choice of a woman that people will love as a princess, and in due course, as queen.
What did you know of Diana? Like, what did your research tell you? Like, what was the revelation once you listened to her words, once you watched those interviews? What really surprised you once you kind of stripped away that icon?
I suppose the nuance of kind of her experience. And what I mean by that is the massive change that she underwent from being this like very young girl living with with her friends who were living very normal lives and cleaning and working at a school.
I'm sorry, we haven't met.
We have. I was in costume at the time. Sarah Spencer's younger sister.
The Mad Tree.
Diana.
Yes, yes.
And then her being taken into this whole other world with the firm and the royal family. But I had never realised or never properly appreciated this sense of instability. Stability, is that a word? Unstableness? Instability. And a sense of loneliness and lack of support that she had felt.
All I want is to be loved. It's all any of us want from you.
As someone who wasn't, you know, quite the royal, like you weren't exactly a royalist growing up, and as you did your research, as you read Peter's wonderful scripts, what surprised you about Prince Charles that maybe you didn't know? Like, what, as you really kind of started to dive into that character, what did you learn?
Well, I suppose, you know, I learned, hopefully what audiences will learn watching our show, is that this is a human person. It's like, you know, that's what Peter Morgan does so well on The Crown, is that he humanizes the superhuman.
Our faith sees the wedding day not as the place of arrival, but the place where the adventure really begins.
You talk about, certainly kind of, she's at the center of this storm, almost this media hurricane, and she has so little control. Is there a connection between that and the bulimia in terms of how she's trying to assert control over her body?
Yeah. And that is we went down because obviously for people experiencing bulimia, suffering from bulimia, it can be triggered or caused by, you know, so many things. But the cause that we felt was most true, the story that we were telling within our series was that feeling of losing control. Everything was kind of spiraling her, both in terms of her marriage and the sadness of that, and also the of her fame, I suppose.
You know, it's amazing, like even in 2020, we're still, like, I get daily updates of what Meghan and Harry are thinking and doing. Yeah. And this show really explains the effect of all that attention. So why still do you think we're so obsessed? It feels like we haven't learned a lesson.
Especially on social media, even on like your Instagram Explore page, yeah, like stuff comes up with Meghan and Harry all the time, and it's and like a million other people. And I think doing the research that I've done and the work that I've done for this role has made me really think about, and I guess my own journey at the moment of, you know, going on a walk with my dog and it ending up in the paper. It's so intrusive in a way that is like kind of almost laughable. And it's made me take an active disinterest.
I feel like they must find it pretty hard, although I imagine they're a little bit used to it. I don't know. I do feel I have great sympathy for all of them, to be honest, Harry and Meghan included. So yeah, I have huge respect for the fact that they generally don't put a step wrong, and they kind of crack on with all the madness.
What does one have to do to get some kindness in this family?
In time, she will give up her fight and bend, as they all do.
And if she doesn't bend, what then? She will break.
I always felt when we went into telling this story, I felt like it would be, we all know the end, and the one of the biggest kind of traps for an actor is to play the end of the story. And so it was very clear, I think Emma and I were both on the same page that we didn't want to play the end. We didn't want to play the doom and gloom from the beginning, that there had to be some hope. There had to be a moment that people, genuinely think, even knowing the ending, that people start to go, hang on, could this work out?
Here is the stuff of which fairy tales are made.